Connor, I need help tuning my mount.
I got you.
Alright, so I didn't realize we could tune these mounts.
Yeah, totally. There's a few things we can do. Start off with the pin block. That way your mount gets tuned to its fullest potential for what you want it for. I do have a question. Are you wanting it like tightness, like you're not going to take it off a lot? Or do you want it like more quick access, like speed, like you want it on and off super quick?
I want it more to stay in place.
Okay.
I will not be pulling it off as much, really.
Yeah, piece of cake. One thing typically people don't know is these holes are actually slotted. Okay. And what that allows for is if you loosen your pin block up, it's adjustable side to side and then also front to back.
Okay.
So if you loosen it up and move your pin block super tight against this face, it tightens everything up.
Okay.
You move it back, that allows like a little bit more play. All right, one of the first things you can do, loosen the pin block. Now, this is for you specifically. You said you want it tight. You're not going to be pulling it on and off all the time.
More like storage.
Correct. So we're going to make sure the pin block's loose, a little more snug, so you have to force it. So it holds itself in place instead of being floppy.
Right.
So loosen these bolts up just a little bit. Just push the pin block as tight as you can get against this face. That's step one. Step two is actually with your base plate. These ears right here you can actually bend them over your leg. So if you look right here, see how there's no gap right here?
Yeah.
Okay. We can actually preload that gap.
Okay.
So when you push the mount into place, it's going to put pressure on these points and keep everything super tight.
Okay.
Super easy to do. Take this corner over your leg. A little bit of a bend.
Okay.
Okay. Now they're pointed up. So when your mount goes back together, okay, now you're actually pushed up and preloaded against it. Zero wiggle.
Gotcha.
Now, something we do in the race trucks, because we're not really worried about any kind of like little rattles or anything like that. I want the tools now. Every time, super fast. So what we do is actually bend those ears down just a little bit. Okay. Then I loosen the pin block, move it back slightly. I mean like a hair. For the people out there who geek out a little bit, move it back about a 10,000ths. Then the mount's super fast. We're not touching on the sides. Everything's going to operate really, really fast.
Okay. So you've got kind of a dual purpose application.
Fully tunable.
Rolling. Okay, so you just loosen these up barely. Slide the pin block, so there's your side to side, back and forth. Set it up just barely off of it, okay? Not very much. And then you tighten everything back up, and this mount's going to be set up for speed. So now we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to set this mount up super tight. This is for people who won't be taking it off or aren't really worried about speed. And when I say speed, the difference is about a second, maybe 2 seconds, but everything matters in the racing industry. Snug everything up, just barely. Don't get too tight because you still need to be able to move the pin, but it needs to be able to hold itself. So just where it's barely moving, grab your mount, push everything super tight, no gap. Okay. Make sure everything stays in place and the pen doesn't move anywhere, and give it a nice snug. Okay, now this mount's set up for tightness.